What's going on, Volcano Beast and Sampler King? You know where we at, live in the lab, Pots and Pan Audio. You know what's going on. Today, we're going to get into a few things that came out this week that kind of caught my eye, and I'm going to use them, probably not all the time, but I'm going to use them once in a while. They're not every day like a new DAW or a new EQ plugin or something like that, but they're going to get some decent usage, man. But before we get into all that, do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Coming to this, wipe your feet though. Stop playing with me, man. Wipe your feet. Let's go. Here we go. First on the list today. Izotope Trash is back. Kinda. It was funny because when I got the email, I'm like, Trash, didn't Trash 2 come out? And it bombed, nobody bought it. So this new Trash, I guess like the old Trash, like all my old school producers and engineers, if you've been doing this 10 plus years, you know what Izotope Trash is. So Trash before was like a way to add like different textures and stuff like that to your beats or your drums or whatever you wanted to do. So Trash 2 didn't really resonate with us the same way because like we heathens. Trash was free. That's the reason Trash 2 didn't really resonate with us. Now this new Trash, they put a little bit more into it, man. It's more like a distortion engine, which was like, it made me like give it the side eye a little bit because I'm like, man, now everybody want to make distortion. Everybody want to make clipping plugins. Everybody want to, but when I dug deep into it and played around with it a little bit, got the demo, yeah, it's dope, man. Like, it's basically like 600 different distortion engines. That alone, like, I'm talking crap, but like 600 different options of anything is worth the 80 bucks they asking. That's what it costs, 80 bucks. And for us that had the other Trash before, I think it was like 29 to update. I'm still thinking about updating. I haven't updated yet, we'll see. But from what I'm seeing about it so far, it's a pretty dope plugin. It's a few things on there that Izotope like, nope, we on a different level. We don't even act like it's the old one. We got some new stuff going. It's multi-band. You can make it multi-band, which is nuts. So we know what we do. We can just, if we master them, we can just play around with the low end, cut it into put the two cutoff frequencies in that and just play around with the low end. Or if we doing something on the top, well, we could just mess with the top end or something. You doing some guitars or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty nice because, you know, a lot of times when you mix the guitars, you add that distortion. A lot of times we don't want to have too much distortion on the top end because a guitar already got some crazy top frequencies, anyway, over like 4 and 5K. So to have this, you can add distortion to everything but up there. So yeah, it's pretty dope. The envelope follower little thing they got on there, which kind of you can make like a sequence out of it to like give like a drum track or a little bass loop some movement. So, and to give it some texture in certain spots and create a new groove out of something. So yeah, this new Trash is nice. I'm gonna see like how indispensable it is to me because just like anything else, I like to work it and work it. I get something, I work it a lot when I first get it. And then if I feel like I can't live without it, then I keep it. I throw it on my chain somewhere or throw it on a bus template or something like that. So we'll see it. It's remain to be seen, but this new Trash is definitely worth checking it out because I just told they on the mountaintop, but this stuff like, I'm gonna start, I think they won the championship. 2023, they won the ship. Like 2024, I've heard some stuff Waves doing, I don't know. They may be coming for that 2024 crown, but Izotope won the crown in 2023 with that Advance 11. So we'll see. They look like they coming for the crown. They come with some more stuff because I think it's a new Nectar coming too. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's a new Nectar coming. So this new Trash, an update to the classic with a lot of added stuff, really taking it in another direction. It's really not exactly an update to the classic. So it's definitely worth a try. Check it out, Trash. All right, next on the list, one of my favorite companies, Cherry Audio. they dropped that brand new CR78. Man, we all know the classics. Anybody that's ever bought a classic drum machine library, whether you had one in real life or not, you heard the sounds. We all know the songs. We all know the classic songs. Something like the Era of the Night, man. The whole beat is just off the CR78 until Phil started playing with the crazy drums. But that whole little loop, that's the CR78. Cherry Audio made a version. They got all the classics in there, all the variations, everything in there. Plus, we get way more than the original. We can play around with the tone of sounds. We can play around with just the texture of things. It's an effects engine on there, like 6 effects to be exact. You got a reverb, a delay. Well, let's just not say reverb. It's a gated reverb because we talk this 80s, 70s. So, you know, it's got to be some special gated reverb on there, a delay. It's distortion on there, multi-band. So yeah, multi-band compressor, I mean. So it's a cool little thing. Plus, I think it's a phaser and a flanger. So yeah, it's like 6 effects on there. So it's definitely a nice tool, especially like if you got into production these last couple years, keeping it real. And you know, these last couple years, we use a lot of the drum libraries, a lot of the drum sounds from so-and-so website or so-and-so whatever. And a lot of times we don't understand how dope some of the classic sounds are. So it's a dope library if you just want to expand your library. It's not a library, my bad. It's a dope plugin if you want to expand your palette of the drum sounds that you got in your library. Like I say, if you've been making beats and collecting sounds for years like I have, you got 2 or 3 CR78 drum machine libraries in your hard drive somewhere. But that's not what this is. Cherry Audio, man, I really give them props because they haven't missed yet. They give us recreations of these plugins and drum machines that they spot on and exceed the original. Because what goes into, like, put it to you like this, until you get to the point where you got top-notch speakers and top-notch interface and all of that, the plug-in recreations of stuff are gonna be better, especially by a company like Cherry Audio, because you don't have the tools to make your recording sound good when you got that synth or that drum machine. I had to learn this the hard way. Until you start getting DIs and preamps and stuff like that, it's not gonna sound how it sounds in the room. So I literally had to bite the bullet these last couple years, like, stop playing, you gotta build a golden channel. So when you go in, your Moog and your MPC or your other drum machines sound as good as they sounded when you was creating. Because when you got an interface, so just school you, when you got an interface, your interface, the inputs, our new interfaces, they got 2 sides to them, man. That's why you could just plug them up and then you hear stuff. Because it's like a little baby mixer on the inside of them, then you get the A to D. You gotta have something to help you with that A to D. Even the best interfaces lose something when it comes to that A to D. So when you hear it, like, you'll be in the room like, man, these banging. And then you A to D, then it's not banging as hard. You got to do stuff in the box to make it sound like it sounded in the room. That's why Cherry Audio is so dope. Until you can afford Apollo 16s and Neve preamps and all of that, and Neve DIs and all that stuff, it's better to grab their recreations than it is to be an idiot like me and buying like a $3,000 keyboard when you only got a $200 interface. It's stupid. So that's why I love Cherry Audio's drum machines and synths, feel me? Because they're giving us recreations, spot on recreations of the originals. All the best A to D, it sound good, it's already in the box, and they adding effects and more capabilities. This 78 is like one of the lost drum, I wouldn't say a lost drum machine because everybody knows about it, but when everybody think about old school Rollins, they always think about the 909, 808, 606, 707 maybe, 747 maybe. But nobody really uses the 78 sounds, and I get why, because it's just a loop. But this nice because even though it's just a loop, we got more control over the loop now. Because at first we just had tempo. Now we got more control over how the sound actually sounds, so we can use it in our productions a little bit, you know what I'm saying, more effective. Because it's a whole panel, it reminds me of Reason. It's like you turn it around, it's a whole panel of all type of stuff you can do to manipulate the loops. They added loops. They got all the originals plus a lot more. So yeah, it's top notch. It's $50. Anything Cherry Audio drops, it's worth whatever price they put on it, man. It's not even a question. Whenever they drop something, I just buy it because it's worth whatever they ask. Even if I make 2 or 3 joints with it and don't use it until next year, it's worth it because that's how good their plugins are compared to the originals. Well, you know what I mean. I don't mean they better than the originals. I mean, they great. They sound as good as the originals, but sometimes they are because if you got an old shoddy one, the output's humming and yeah, it's better than your original. So yeah, check it out, the CR78. It's a remake of the Roland CR78. I think it's from 78, like 79, 78, something like that, because it's pre-MIDI. It's pre-programmable, it's pre all of that. So it's gotta be from like 70 because the 808 is programmable. The CR78 is not. So it is 808 is like 81. So it's gotta be from like 78, 79. So yeah, check it out, the CR78. All right, last on my list this week. It's not really a piece of gear. It was the new thing that I think the House of Representatives did where they trying to pass a bill, man, where every stream gets at least 1 cent. And I thought about it, I did the math. I'm like, okay, cool. Because it sounds like a stupid number, because it is kind of a stupid number. Like when you really think about it, like we put our heart and soul, everything into it. Music ain't free, it costs money for us to do it. But when you think about it, 1 cent per stream, like if you actually get that as the artist, the 1 cent. Think about it, like, I think I did the math. Like currently now, you get 1 million streams, you might get 500 to 1,000, it's according to what platform you on. But under that rule, you will get like 10,000 for that same 1 million streams. And I thought about it, if you an artist that over your library, you get 20 million streams for the year, you get $200,000 for your work. And I thought about it like, okay, as a middle class artist, you make 200,000 this year. I wouldn't say it's fair because it's only thing is fair is you can get back every dime that you put into your work by like investing and selling everything yourself and get your own fans. That's the only thing that's technically that's the only way we ever gonna get fairness. But this is getting closer to fairness because like I said, like I'm not the artist that gets 20 million listens either. So I get it, something like most of us that's under that threshold will be looking like, man, that still ain't enough. But when you do the math, you own a platform that you don't own. Your traction brought 20 million people to listen and you got 200,000 off of that. I believe that's good money, fam. Like we as humans, we want it all. We're not gonna admit when something is a good deal, but like they say, like in good business, both people supposed to walk away feeling like, okay, they gave up a little bit. If you telling me I could get 20 million streams over my catalog this year and make 200,000 for it, I believe that's a good deal, fam. So we getting closer to some of this streaming stuff being worth it, man. But like I said, we getting closer, we inching closer because a lot of the problem we don't understand is like, I call it the Diddy and the Young Jock. And this ain't just a pile on Diddy because it's Diddy, but nah, Young Jock had the #1 single in the world. Everybody who old enough to know this. And he never got paid off of it because he was always going to the label he was signed to, which was like a under Bad Boy. A lot of people thought he was signed directly to Bad Boy, but he wasn't. He was signed to Block Entertainment. So he going to Block saying, where my money at? He's saying, Puffy got your money. Puffy go to him. He go to Puffy. Oh, Block got your money. That's what this streaming thing is. People worried about Spotify, but it's really the record label and the DSPs that's taking the money. Like DistroKid and TuneCore are the ones who holding people's money hostage if the record labels pay you. But pay them, but we don't know if the record label's paying them. So if we have something government regulated that say we gotta get at least a cent off of a stream, I believe like the smaller streaming companies might fail because they probably can't afford to pay that because they're gonna have to pay more. They're gonna have to get paid more than that to be able to pay that out to the artist. And then a record label's probably gonna be like, man, take a hike, whatever. So they probably only gonna deal with the big three, YouTube, Apple, and like Spotify. But that'd be good though for us. I don't care. Like, I don't own no streaming company. I don't care. Put us on those and give us our cent. If I get 1 million listens, I get 10,000 off of that. I'm grind. That give me a threshold. That give me something to work towards. Us not knowing nothing, like how are we gonna ever grow what we doing if we don't know anything? But like I say, the first thing we need to do is just take our stuff. I believe it'll happen if all of us stop putting our stuff on there. Like I say, this government regulated thing, if it ever gets to that point where it's a cent per stream, I'm down with that. When you do the math, like I say, it's up to us to grind to get to the level where we getting 10 million listens, but you get 10 million listens, you get 100 G's. That's enough money to live off that year, fam. That's on you to make more. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. Like, I know we gonna have people that on both sides of the fence gonna always say, man, whatever, streaming give us the best opportunities. Gonna people that's always on some, man, forget streaming, all of it, the devil, whatever. We gotta get a common balance somewhere, and I believe us getting more per stream is the common balance. So hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. We're about to get up out of here, but before you do that, hit me with that like, hit me with that subscribe, man. We in the stew. Peace.